Well, it's pretty exciting. We knew at the beginning of the season that we had a special team, and early on we had just an amazing game against Johns Hopkins where we were down a goal with less than a minute left and got that goal to tie it and then scored in overtime. And at that point, the march began, and we knew that we were going to be pretty good. And it was just fun. We just kept finding ways to win. We had just a superb attack. We had 2 All-American forwards, one being the National Player of the Year, Angela. And it was just fun to watch them and to watch them play and to do the things they could do. Then once we won the ODAC, we knew that was going to be a challenge. It always is. Trying to get through a team twice is really tough in this conference, and so we were excited that we were able to do that. And then it was just one game at a time, and that was sort of how we approached it. Each day we knew we had to win 6 games to be national champions, and we just tried to knock it off one at a time. And each time we needed it, the kids reached deep, and they were able to just play just superb soccer the whole year. So that was just a really exciting time. Well, it's been our big dilemma this year. How do we describe ourselves? Are we defending national champions? And we've talked to people that have won championships to ask them how you approach that. And we've sort of decided we're aspiring champions again. And now we have some experience. We have some really, like you said, young kids that got an amazing amount of time and just an extraordinary achievement. And now it's just to try to do it with a different team and a different makeup. And that's the fun part. Every year, it's exciting coming into preseason because it's like Christmas for me. I get to see, what we're going to unwrap and what kind of team we're going to have, and it's just been fun. This team's got a great confidence for sure. They haven't lost a soccer game in a long time, and we'll see. We got a lot of teams gunning for us, but I like the nucleus, and we've just got great energy and great confidence, and there's a lot to be said for that when you're trying to win soccer games. Yeah, last year I think one of our weaknesses was our central midfield, which has historically not been. We've had always really strong central midfields, and our attack was just sort of dynamic last year. The 2, Angela and Desi, were able to just put up extraordinary numbers for our team. And this year I think our strength is going to be our central midfield. And some of those kids were sophomores last year playing a national championship. I think they have experience now, and I'm really excited about our central midfield. And then Morgan Singer, she's been sitting behind 2 All-Americans for a long time, and she's been patient, and she's a senior this year, and she's a special player, and I'm excited to see what she can do when it's her team now. And she'll be the attack, she'll be the person we're looking for to score the big goal when we need it, and I absolutely think she's up to the challenge. She's a great player, and brought in a couple freshmen, and unfortunately one tore ACL first day, so that was disappointing, but we have another freshman that we think is going to contribute right away, and just a good strong attack as usual with Jade Wall on the outside. I think she's a potential All-American, and our defense should be stout. We got Emily Maxwell back, who's a freshman player of the year, and we've got Natalie Deacon, who's just a super strong player. So we're excited about our team. Well, and that's the thing. In the national tournament, it wasn't about the attack so much. It became about your defense and about that central midfield. And so that weakness that I thought was sort of going all year, they became our strength in that final tournament. And that central midfield started to control the games, and they started to make a difference. Because at that level, it's one goal that wins those games. And, prolific attack can be shut down pretty quickly. But a stout defense, we've heard for years, defense wins championships. And it was no different last year. Our defense was stellar at every step of the way. And we're excited because Emily Maxwell now has had a year to work out and to get stronger, and she's a special player, and she'll hold down that central part of our defense. So I'm excited about that defense. Yeah, what I love about our conference is every game is a big game, and that gap, like you said, is really thinned out. It's not nearly like it used to be. There were some games that weren't super challenges, but at the top level, those games are just so tough. And the Virginia Wesleyans and the Roanoke's and the Bridgewaters and the Washington and Lee's, and every one of those is a battle, and it tests you and it challenges you, and you sort of find out what you're going to need for the next level. And we've found that when we go to that tournament, we're ready, and we're ready because we've gone through the ODAC, and then we've gone through an ODAC tournament where you have to play some of these teams twice, as I mentioned earlier. And that's tough, to beat a W&L or to beat a Virginia Wesleyan twice. And so that absolutely prepares us. I've never not felt prepared when we go to the national tournament. And this year, I thought some of the best teams we played all year were in the ODAC, even though we won a national championship. Well, we were doing that for a couple of years. We were getting 2 or 3 teams in, and our level hasn't changed. And what happened, they brought in a region out of New Jersey, and there's some really great competition, and then they've expanded our region into Tennessee now, and you're having some great teams out of there. So it's really whittled the pool down that we can get in. And so the teams that we're playing now in the ODAC, they're totally deserving. Virginia Wesleyan and Washington Lee last year were totally deserving, especially Washington Lee last year, to get in. And that conference, or the region, has just gotten, it's so big and so expansive that it's really sort of tough. And and we know going in, we pretty much have to win the ODAC. And that's our only guarantee that we're going to get in that tournament, because we know how challenging it is. So it puts a lot of pressure on every game that we play. And certainly that ODAC tournament becomes even magnified. And again, that's why I think we're prepared for the tournament, because the pressure there is so great, because without that win, we're not guaranteed a spot in the national tournament. So that's about as much pressure as we're going to have for any game that we're going to play.